If you've ever dated someone who's a dismissive avoidant, you will know that a lot of the times they struggle to communicate what they need or even understanding what their needs are, let alone knowing what a love tank or a love bank is. Hey, what's going on, my beautiful people? This is Certified Life and Relationship Coach Court. In today's video, we're going to talk about the top love languages of the dismissive avoidant. Thank you for sticking around. If this is your first time viewing me, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel by clicking that subscribe button and ringing that bell so you're notified for all the newest coaching content. In today's video, we're going to talk about the top love languages of the dismissive avoidant. I'm going to give you guys 3 love languages. And this video here was sparked by a video that I did back in 2020. Almost to the day, almost 2 years ago, I did this video, and when I look back at it, it's very cringeworthy, and I apologize for exposing you guys to that video. But anyway, as YouTubers, we learn to grow, we learn to evolve. I want to do you guys a favor by going ahead and redoing this video as I've gotten more experience, as I've worked with more people, as I've been able to kind of do a little bit more research on why dismissive avoidants do the things that they do. Before I get into the content, I want to put the spotlight on one of the people who are here in the community, someone who's a dismissive avoidant, and they shared this in the comments section. They said, "Thank you for standing up for us avoidants. I've read so many times that we should just be blocked and forgotten, as if we were narcissists or sociopaths. It's not our fault we experienced trauma that hurt us this bad. When someone gets too close too fast, I feel real fear, just like an arachnophobic does when they see a spider." I wanted to share that comment because this is actually really good insight on how they think. Now, when I get to these love languages, there are 5 love languages. You guys aren't familiar with what love languages are. There are 5 love languages: physical touch, quality time, acts of service, gift giving, and words of affirmation. Or I would say receiving gifts and words of affirmation. All of those things are not something that a dismissive avoidant can accept readily. You're going to have to build up some type of trust with them before you're even able to get to that point. The very first one is, these are in no particular order. Actually, they kind of are. I'm recapping the video from 2020. Like I said, acts of service, gift giving, and words of affirmation. I'm going to break these down, and I'm going to tell you why these are. Acts of service. This is one of the most non-vulnerable things that they can do. I had a client that I was working with once, and I've actually had a couple clients where, if we're talking particularly men, they would much rather do things for you and then talk about how they feel, where they're at emotionally. And I've seen this happen a lot too with dismissive avoidant women, but it's really prominent in dismissive men. One of my clients was telling me every time that they would break up or get into an argument or they take these breaks from each other, he would come over to the house and just start doing chores. And that was her way of knowing that he was apologizing to her. He may not have came out and said it, and I had to, give her assurance that, part of the reason why he did that is because that's something that he probably learned from childhood. Maybe the dad around the house didn't speak a whole lot, but he was like a doer around the house. And that was just kind of like my theory on it when she gave me a little bit of background about him. But that's part of the reason why they're able to do that. They're able to do things and show you that it's okay rather than talk about it. And I don't know why that is specifically. Maybe it's like some deep shame that they're feeling or something. But the second one, actually, I'm going to go ahead and go through all 5 of them for you guys and let you know why I feel that way, or why I've been able to kind of peg these things as like the hierarchy from the people that I've worked with in the past. The second one is receiving gifts. Now, this is something that's going to be hard for them right away. But when they are feeling love for you, when they're feeling like they're close to you and they can trust you and you feel safe, they'll start giving you things, because once again, this isn't the same thing as words of affirmation. A lot of times I've seen where people had to, be the primary provider financially around a household, take care of their little brothers and sisters. They couldn't really rely on their parent. It's kind of like a neglect thing, not all the time. This isn't something that's law. So when they start to share that money with you and share their resources, like if they had something instead of, let's say that they got like a new lawnmower or something, they will make sure that, hey, do you want this lawnmower before I go and I'll sell it or whatever? And that's kind of their way of showing like, look, you're important to me. I'm going to share these resources with you because you're in my life and I care deeply for you. I learned personally that we tend to give the love that we want in return. This is why the love languages can get very hairy if you don't quite understand what a person's love language is, because it's like speaking Portuguese to someone who, is speaking Spanish. There's a guy in the comment section. I want to make sure that I shared that with you because I thought this was really interesting and he got a lot of likes. He says, Dismissive Avoidant here. I love acts of service, but gifts tend to weird me out. Do something for me like a chore I was going to get to before me and it's a warm feeling. Or bedroom stuff without asking for a treat is a warm glow. But don't, for the love of, go over the top. It feels weird. Like the coach says, like you're being bought. And that's not a nice feeling. If you're still around the channel, sir, I appreciate you commenting this and sharing your story with the community. The third love language is words of affirmation. Reason why I put that last, as far as the top three, is because it's hard for them to give words of affirmation and it's hard for them to receive it. Because usually when they hear it, they have their guards up and they're feeling like this is like some type of love bomb technique. And this is something that they're not used to. They didn't get this growing up most of the time. Now, it could be a case where someone's more of a fearful avoidant, and the reason why it's hard for them to hear that is because they were in very unhealthy, very kind of toxic, if you want to say toxic. They had a really unhealthy upbringing, and it made them the way that they are. So hearing words of affirmation probably is something that's going to put them on guard. I also had someone on the comments section that said it took her husband a long time to receive those things, those words, but he even started to practice saying those things in return because he knew that it meant something to her. The fourth one is quality time, which is way down. I'm just going to go through them. The fourth one is quality time, something that they don't quite need all the time. Even one of the guys said on the channel too that quality time was something that wasn't that important to them. Give them their space. Give them the time to miss you, to come back to you is literally what he said. Give them the time to miss you. Then that quality times mean more to them. Physical touch would be last because there's something about their space. They need that, and there's certain type of avoidance, depends on how avoidant they are, that will feel very claustrophobic and almost like triggered for whatever reason for why a person would, constantly need like public PDA, public display of affection, need to be constantly held or touched. So I put that one as dead last on what their love languages are. So if you found this video of any value, go ahead and click this link right here where I talk a little bit more about 5 signs that an avoidant cares. And if you want to follow me on my other social media accounts, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, I'm Coach Court. And as always, I want you guys to remember this. When you go be love, you'll never have to find it.